Gamers and gentlefolk, hello and welcome back to the channel. I am excited to be bringing a Division D East matchup for everyone. We're going to be seeing FC Hong Kong going up against Samuro L. Jackson, perhaps my favorite name of all of the teams in Season 17 of NGS. We're going to be seeing a best-of-3 series. And to give you a little background on these two teams, FC Hong Kong have only participated in dominations thus far this season. They have either 2-0'd or been 2-0'd in all of their matches. So we'll see if that trend continues for this evening's match. And on the other side, Samuro L. Jackson are looking for their first win after coming back from their bye week. We can take a look at the current division standings to see where both of our teams sit, and they are neck and neck, both with 16 points. The disparity between 3rd and 5th place here is due to, I believe, a head-to-head matchup between FC Hong Kong and Heavy Group Therapy, which would knock them lower in the tie-breaking standings. So, everything to play for this evening. We may see fireworks, I'm sure. FC Hong Kong would love to keep their domination streak alive. Checking out our battleground selection, we can see that, to give you a little more background on that, Samuro L. Jackson won the coin toss and opted for map pick. We had bans on Braxis and Volskaya for FC Hong Kong, and Battlefield of Eternity and Towers of Doom for Samuro L. Jackson, who also opted to take us to Alterac Pass for Game 1 in the series. For all those joining us for this first game, welcome, and I hope you are all fired up for this Week 8 match. I am thinking we're going to see some pretty well-suited, even games between these two teams. Let's get into our first draft for game number 1. Alterac Pass is always a battleground that can really test the macro prowess of either of these teams, and it will also kind of tax the drafting capabilities for any team that isn't ready for oddball picks here. Of course, in the first ban slots, I expect to see heroes like Hogger and Brightwing and Sylvanas, all very strong on the battleground. Brightwing banned out here first. The global healer on a battleground as large as Alterac makes sense if you do not want to grab it first to get it out of the way. I mentioned I mentioned Hogger. Hogger is perhaps the priority offlaner in the pool on this battleground for their prowess on camp taking. We can see Blaze banned out by Samuro L. Jackson, which has been a favored pick from FC Hong Kong thus far this season. Not so surprising to see that taken out. They've had a fair bit of success with the Firebat. Sylvanas and Anubarak both still up and available. Sylvanas allowing for... there's the Samuro ban. Samuro L. Jackson, as their name would suggest, do in fact play the hero. So, a hero that does well on large battlegrounds as well. An excellent split-pushing hero. Not surprised to see FC Hong Kong not want to deal with the Blade Master. Last ban here for Samuro L. Jackson. We'll see if it's more scouting informed Stukov ban. All right. So an Uberak available, Vala available, a very fast first grab onto the Demon Hunter there. One of the favorite early pick assassins in the league across many divisions. Her ability to scale well into the late game with all three of her builds is not too surprising. Looks like we have Rhaegar as the response, along with Varian. Excellent. Not the CC support I would expect to pair with Varian if it is a taunt Varian, so that may be an offlane or flex pick. So we'll see how that multi-class works out. Anduin and Johanna, the next two picked up. Both solid heroes in their role, a decent synergy between the two of them. And of course, Johanna's Wave Clear really freeing up the options for your draft when you don't have to rely on it from your ranged position as much. Hong Kong still don't have their offlaner, so I expect Samuro to ban another one here. It's going to be Chromie instead, not wanting to deal with the gnome and her long-range poke. Excellent for stalling the objectives. So not too surprising to see it taken out here. Samuro L. Jackson have set up an interesting draft scenario with their 1-2 picks. It makes this third ban for Hong Kong a little challenging because we don't know what flavor of Varian we're going to see. And so with that in mind, they're going to stick to banning damage. Kael'thas taken out of the running. Next two picks here, we could see another frontliner and perhaps an auto attack DPS. Something to put a little bit of pressure onto the front line of FC Hong Kong. Could very well see a Tychus here. Going to be Tassadar and Zul'jin instead. Alright. Really planning on the late game scaling of Zul'jin, hoping to get those auto attacks in and pass out as many axes as Hong Kong would like to receive, or not in this case. Last two picks here, Junkrat, an alternative to the Chromie, and Sonya, the final selection for the offlane. Last pick here for Longshot, we'll see if the Varian is for the main tank slot or the offlane slot. Could very well see a Diablo if it's an offlane Varian. Hogger is still available if it's a taunt Varian. Muradin. Alright. So it is, in fact, a offlane Varian pick for Game 1. So looking at these drafts, as our teams get ready and loaded into the game, I do wonder about this Varian pick, if it is Twin Blades or Smash. Were it me, I think Smash would be my pick. That armor shred plus the burst damage of Tassadar would be a lot of kill threat onto either Vala or Junkrat if Samuro L. Jackson are able to get onto those squishy assassins. Of course, Sonya and Johanna are sturdy frontline and have a lot of tools to protect those assassins. So we'll see exactly how it all plays out as we get into Game 1 and introduce our two teams. Here on the left, we've got FC Hong Kong, Gio on Sonya, Alan Hicks playing Johanna, Jay Tizzle on Anduin, Calyrex on Junkrat, and Splendidaddy playing Vala. And to the right in red, we've got Samuro L. Jackson, Astrokeet on Rhaegar, Longshot on Varian, Nematode on Tassadar, Shadra on Muradin, and J Trinja on Zul'Jin. As we get into the first wave of the game, we can check in on our talents. It is Kree the Hunter, auto attack Vala. But she's not the only one who's looking for stacks. We've got Longshot going for Lion's Maw at level 1, hoping to get additional CC. A doubling, I believe, of the slow that Varian's Q offers. As well as Nematode stacking up that Q quest, already up to 2 stacks there. So an early first wave going over to Samuro L. Jackson. That was thanks to Geo getting busy here in bot lane, already ahead on this wave clear. Which is important for the early rotations because the Hogger camp, what do you call those? Knolls. The Knoll camp unlocks in just 3 seconds. We'll see how these teams prioritize. And it looks like SLJ are onto the camp first. Both J Trinja and Astroski getting busy with it already. J Trinja opting for Recklessness at level 1, so they will get additional stacks of their baseline quest every time they auto-attack someone when they are below 50% HP. So the first camp going unanswered. Hong Kong are a little slow on this rotation. You can see Junkrat and Anduin breaking off to do that now. But if SLJ... Oh, Vala going down to minions, so that's going to be... Okay, and a pause. That makes some sense. Alrighty. We'll head back out and see if we can't figure out what's going on. Ah. We lost the Vala to a DC. Tragic. Splendid Daddy lamenting the fact that they have lost their first Gambit stack due to lag. And I don't blame them for being pretty bummed. But it looks like we are just about ready to get back into it. And it is a large wave set up with this camp. Top tower on this wall already going down. A very quick pickup there structurally for Samuro L. Jackson. They may get this whole front wall if they stick around. Thinking better of it, choosing to back up here. Level 4s are online for both of our teams. It is Colossus Smash for Varian. So they are looking for that burst damage. Another quick pause. And it's looking like we are having some trouble with a connection with one of our players. It's gonna be a full restart, so this may be a longer pause as we wait for our player to reboot their game. For those who joined us since our last chat, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. I'm happy to bring you this Div D East matchup. And thinking more a little bit more about these drafts, I am a little surprised that FC Hong Kong were so slow to get that first siege camp out in mid lane, given their wave clear. Junkrat, Sonya, and Johanna all bringing lots of wave clear to bear on this battleground. So Samuro L. Jackson's quicker rotations definitely showing a little bit more comfort on their own battleground selection. let me check. I believe I've got some stats here for how Samuro L. Jackson have been doing. They have played Alterac 4 times thus far this season and are 2-2. So definitely something that they are comfortable with. It looks like Hong Kong has not played Alterac before tonight, so perhaps that can explain some of their lagging rotations there. All right, we're getting back into it again. And once again, Samuro L. Jackson ahead on the rotations, securing another tower. Of course, that heavy 4-hero rotation to top means that this camp is going unattended in mid lane, already getting through that gate with no assistance from heroes. So not a bad result for Hong Kong. But of course, the real issue is that Samuro L. Jackson are already on this second camp. Still 20 seconds or so before Hong Kong will have the opportunity to get their next camp. Objectives are available for contest. We'll see how our two teams play it. Calyrex setting up a steel trap there, which offers permanent vision. Another 3-hero commitment in top lane. Checking in on our off-lane duel here in bot. Geo getting the better of Longshot for now. That is thanks to the innate sustain of Sonya. Shadra leaps in and catches the Johanna, but they still have their Iron Skin available to them. They'll be able to escape to safety just fine. Geo rotating up here, but takes a lot of damage. Will draw the pull from Jay Tizzle as level 7s come online for both of our teams. And it is a totem-based build for Rhaegar, going for Colossal Totem and Grounded Totem at 1 and 7. So with their camp pushing in their favor, it's going to give FC Hong Kong the opportunity to tag this camp and get the objective rolling for them. Shadra still has their leap out and makes it to safety thanks to their level 1 dwarf block. Up in top, Samuro L. Jackson continuing to work on the wall and fort there. Junkrat's going to have to peel off to get clearing with those waves, meaning it is 4v3 here on this objective. Shadra's Stormbolt goes wide, however. Slight experience lead for Samuro L. Jackson. That's thanks largely to their hero kill and structure kill lead. Alan Hicks taking a lot of damage from Nematode here. And Shadra doing a great job to stall this objective while Jay Trinjet and Astro Ski work on the 3rd siege camp of the game. Geo will not get the channel, stalled out by Shadra and Nematode. So now the macro pressure is once again in Samuro L. Jackson's favor. FC Hong Kong will respond to the mid lane, looking to get a quick clear here, but Samuro L. Jackson are happy to keep pushing. Geo beats the Stormbolt, but in the end, no serious damage follow-up there. Both of our teams doing a great job to take advantage of their tempo leads that they're sustaining, but Calyrex is in range. Junkrat, one of the best stall heroes on these objectives, given the long range of the frag launcher. It misses, however, so Astroski gets the channel. About a half level lead for Samuro L. Jackson as we creep towards our heroic talent tier. FC Hong Kong are going to have to make a decisive move here if they want to get a fight before heroics are online. There's the smash onto Alan Hicks, but a boop in on the Varian brings them very low, draws the Purge Geo is in onto Nematode here, and Astroski is first to fall in this engagement. Varian is next, and Nematode. So 3 for nothing in favor of FC Hong Kong, which unlocks their heroics. We've got Blessed Shield, Riptire, Rain of Vengeance, Light Bomb, excellent. And Sonya's considering heavily. We could very well see Leap here. On the other side, Samuro L. Jackson has opted for Ancestral Healing, Warbringer from Varian, so more charges more often, Black Hole for Tass, Avatar, and has Stingo. Sonya did opt for Leap for her heroic. Alright, so FC Hong Kong have already gotten through half this fort, a stun onto Longshot, but they're going to have to back up. Oh my gosh, Varian taking so much damage. The Blessed Shield won't connect, but Varian still goes down. Shadra able to escape there. Checking in on the bot side, Geo has a large wave behind them, so they've got plenty of pushing power left. We'll see Samuro L. Jackson rotate down there, no doubt, shortly. In the meanwhile, FC Hong Kong will get a little bit more push here on this top fort wall, try and even out the structure deficit they face here. So 2 forts down already. Longshot down in bot lane, dealing with the wave and objective. We'll see if Shadra can connect a Stormbolt here, but it looks like FC Hong Kong will escape without too much trouble. Another fight looking for Nematode here. The Blessed Shield wasn't used, but the Light Bomb was. Blessed Shield on to Shadra there with a great boot back from Calarix and another kill. 6 kills unanswered for FC Hong Kong. Samuro L. Jackson get onto their camp, but of course Geo had already taken care of the reciprocal camp on the left side. And this power play is going to allow Hong Kong to keep working on this top lane, applying pressure while they have the hero advantage. Alan Hicks looking for a slow here, draws the fort aggro temporarily, and they'll get through about half of this fort. And we can see Sonya rotating up here. They've got level 13s in their favor. Hong Kong have the leap onto Nematode. Tassadar goes down, as does Rhaegar. Ancestral not going off in time, unfortunately. J-Tizzle draws the smash from Longshot, but in the end, they're able to drop back to safety. So another fort going over to FC Hong Kong. All outer structures taken away from Samuro L. Jackson, and they're still trailing by about a level and a half here. Once they even up their talent tiers, I imagine we will see Samuro L. Jackson look for an aggressive engagement, try and get themselves back into this game. They have a comp that is certainly built to fight with Zul'jin and Varian, the Smash Varian. Smash Varian also gives SLJ a fair bit of boss burn. Smash does apply to PvE targets, so their choice to start up this boss isn't too surprising. Looks like Longshot has not smashed just yet, and FC Hong Kong have sniffed it out. We'll see if they look to turn for the fight. A great boop. Oh, means FC Hong Kong get the steal. They're looking for more kills here. Shadra in range of the boss stun goes down. Tringe able to pop their unkillable, but no one falls. Another 3 kills for FC Hong Kong. A full 2.5 levels of experience in their favor. And all the while, they had secured that mid-camp, so mid-keep wall taking additional damage. FC Hong Kong were slow to start on Battleground, but they are 100% in the driver's seat at this point. We've got Geo on Sonya taking care of this objective, while the rest of FHC head up to the top boss, a double boss play is a pretty solid tempo maneuver. It's going to draw SLJ's attention to the top lane while the objective is between mid and bot, so they are unlikely to recontest here after this boss gets moving. Geo doing a little bit of feigning as if the rest of their team was around, but once the boss comes online, SLJ know that the Sonya must be alone. A leap goes wide, does not connect. Shadra looking for Geo there. Alan Hicks goes on to Nematode, but a lot of damage going on to this Johanna here. Shadra falls low and is the first to die. Longshot is next. Jtrinja has no heroic and will go down. 3-0, and they're on to Nematode for 4. Astroski was able to make it out alive, but the Rhaegar is the only one to escape. The boss has gotten through one of the 2 towers on top keep wall. And a quick finish on the rest of that objective channel means Samuro L. Jackson is in trouble. This push already on to each keep means that the objective will push to core. Samuro L. Jackson will need a absolutely heroic defense here if they are to survive. It starts with a kill on to Geo for potentially. An excellent sidestep will get the Johanna out alive. Longshot going down there. Nematode tries to peel using the black hole, just buying a little bit more space for their bot keep, but I don't think it's long for this world. Splendid Daddy getting another stack there for Creed of the Hunter, already up to 150 auto attacks. And with 2 keeps down, we can see FC Hong Kong starting on to the core. I don't know if Samuro L. Jackson are going to be able to hold it, and there is a lot of damage, and that will do it for Game 1. GG and well played to the home team. So there you have it. Game 1 started off slow for FC Hong Kong, but in the end, their teamfight prowess was unmatched, getting every kill after First Blood was secured by SLJ. We will update the scoreboard here, and then we can head over to check out our post-game stats. We can see Splendid Daddy, after some connection issues, was able to deal with their struggles with lag. They only ever lost the 1 Gambit stack due to that DC, and was able to come back for top damage in the lobby. And the kill count really does kind of tell the story of this first game in our series. Checking in on our talent builds one more time, seeing if anything sticks out to me. We had a trap build from Calorix, opting for Burst Volley at 16, not one that I am accustomed to seeing. I think Spread Volley is a little bit more common. The Smash Varian we had called out in the moment, and nothing else too out of the ordinary there. So a solid first game. Very well played to both of our teams, and an excellent showing for their first time on the battleground for our home team. FC Hong Kong looked quite comfortable after the slow start that they had from a macro sense. Jay Tizzle, thank you for joining. While playing, also watching. I can never do that, personally. Hearing someone talk about a game that I am playing but 30 seconds behind me, could never figure it out. So, power to you if you can. All right. Looking at the battlegrounds we have available to us, or I should say available to Samuro L. Jackson, I'm guessing they're going to opt for map pick again, as that is what they chose when they had the option after their coin flip win. I'm thinking we'll see another large battleground, perhaps a Garden of Terror or a Cursed Hollow out of SLJ. I would love to see them get a hold of Samuro in one of these games. I doubt they will. Thank you for the follow, Splendid Daddy. Glad to have you. The Samuro in the hands of Samuro L. Jackson on a large battleground, I think would be a lot of fun. Just to see how well they kind of honor their namesake. But of course, I doubt FHK are interested in allowing the hero to get through a draft. You don't typically want to let a person who's named their Battle.net account after a hero to get the hero that they're named after, and I would think similarly, if a whole team is named after a hero, you wouldn't really want that hero to go over to them in draft. Just a hunch. And based on this brief amount of scouting I did, I know that Samuro L. Jackson do indeed play it. All right, it looks like SLJ instead opted for first pick. Excellent. And so we are headed to Infernal Shrines as picked by Free Hong Kong, or FC Hong Kong. Jay Chisel, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I'd also love to give a shout out to everyone who's tuned in. These teams are, I'm sure, excited to see everybody cheering them on, so make sure that you let them know in chat who you'd like to see winning. And thank you to everyone for supporting the NGS community. For anyone who is not a member of NGS, you can check out the largest North American amateur, yeah, those are all the buzzwords, largest North American amateur Heroes of the Storm League at the link in chat. You can also use !NGS to get to their website and check it out. We would love to have as many people join as possible. It's great to see how these games can be played when all 10 members are organized and together. So a huge shout out to NGS and the volunteer staff that make it run. It is a great organization to be a part of. I'll just drop a caster R in the chat, let them know that I'm ready to go. Seems like we are just waiting on a couple more to start. All right. Ready is on both sides, so we should be into the draft shortly. Given that Hogger was not selected on Alterac, I wouldn't be surprised if the Knoll does not feature in this second draft either. Although Infernal Shrines is the battleground that I think the Knoll probably does best on, given all of the infinite bounce opportunities on the objectives. So FC Hong Kong did a lot of work with the Vala. Geo looked really strong in the Sonya as well. We'll see if Samuro L. Jackson are going to change up their ban strategy here or stick to their guns. We saw a Blaze first ban last game, who also is a monster on the objective for Infernal Shrines. So lots of pretty solid offlaners for the objective. They are going to stick with the Blaze first ban, trying to make sure that Geo does not get their favorite Terran. I don't think of Infernal Shrines as a particularly good battleground for Samuro. You can see the Brightwing ban. So both teams sticking to their ban strategy thus far. Yeah, so back to the Samuro idea. I don't think Samuro L. Jackson is likely to pick it here. We'll see if Hong Kong continue to ban it, given that it is not the strongest battleground for the hero. The Johanna ban does make a lot more sense. Samuro L. Jackson not willing to pick it first and not wanting to give Alan Hicks another opportunity to pick up the Crusader. They had a strong showing on Alterac, and Infernal Shrines is a much better battleground for Johanna. Her ability to group up all of the Shrine defenders makes eliminating them for her team pretty solid if you've got any sort of AoE damage grafted. Last ban here, it's sticking with the Samuro ban. FC Hong Kong don't want to see Samuro L. Jackson get a hold of their Blade Master. So with first pick this time, we'll see what SLJ looked to prioritize, perhaps picking away the Vala. Vala was a really strong hero for FC Hong Kong. Yeah, they don't want to let Splendid Daddy get the Demon Hunter again. Can't say I blame them. Next two picks here. I would love to see a priority tank or priority offlaner selected. We could see, okay, Stukov. We could see a Diablo picked up here. Garrosh, another strong hero for the battleground. His Wrecking Ball toss cannot target monsters. So lots of people are wary of picking Garrosh on this map because they're worried about throwing a skeletal defender, but he in fact cannot target them, so only heroes are targetable on the objective pit. Astroski picks up the Anduin. They're going to want to pull anyone who gets thrown. And Shadra grabs the ETC. Alright. The boop from Face Melt will definitely help keep Alan Hicks in check there. Samuro L. Jackson do still need an offlaner. We'll see how FHC want to narrow that pool, or if they'll go again for a ranged ban. Jaina is going to be their ban. Alright, fair enough. Decent Shrine clear, a lot of burst damage, not a bad pickup. Of course, we do still have Kael Thas available, which I know got a ban last game. So perhaps FC Hong Kong looking to pick it away or willing to give it away. Samuro L. Jackson would be happy to pick that up, I imagine. Another Chromie ban. Interesting. If I were on Samuro L. Jackson, I think I would have targeted Geo's hero pool a little bit more. Looked pretty solid on the Sonya, and Sonya is another one of those bruisers that do exceptionally well in the objective pit. I imagine we'll see... Oh, they are picking away the Kael Thas. Okay. And the Sonya as well. Okay, excellent. Not too surprising to see the Sonya once again. This battleground is solid for her. Last two picks for Samuro L. Jackson, a flex pick and an offlaner. They could grab a Dahaka here, though I don't know that I like Dahaka into Garrosh too much. They could go for the Varian again. Minus armor is strong into Garrosh. It's going to be Thrall instead. Thrall Orphea. So that... Orphea gives them a little more Shrine Clear, and Sylvanas, the final choice for Free Hong Kong. take a look at these drafts as we get into Game 2 on Infernal Shrines. Not Alterac. Infernal Shrines. There we are. Stukov, Garrosh, Kael'thas, lots of CC set up and follow-up. So FC Hong Kong definitely have a solid kill setup there. Of course, Samuro L. Jackson are able to put a lot of pressure on the front line through the Vala and Orphea as well. Thrall can also bring a lot of percentage damage to bear. So it's definitely a pretty even draft. We'll see who takes it for this Game 2. Hopefully we'll be able to get into a Game 3 for the series. Let's introduce our teams once again. Here on the left, in blue, we've got FC Hong Kong, Geo on Sonya, Alan Hicks on Garrosh, Jay Tizzle playing Stukov, Calyrex on Kael'thas, and Splendidaddy playing Sylvanas. And to the right in red, we've got Samuro L. Jackson, Longshot on Thrall, Astroski on Anduin, Shadra playing ETC, Jay Trinja on Orphea, and Nematode playing Vala. Checking in on our talents. It's another auto attack Vala and a W build for Sylvanas, Unfurling Shadows. Looking for stacks on her Shadow Dagger. There's the root follow-up. Shadra has already spent their mobility, though. It's, in fact, Garrosh who's first to fall. A pretty heavy spread on the Living Bomb from Calyrex, but first blood going over to Samuro L. Jackson. I'm sure they're happy to get that strong start after their somewhat disappointing loss on Game 1. Geo not ready for this rotation. Nematode and Jay Trinja are here to get the slows. Astroski able to get those last couple of autos. So 2 kills unanswered for Samuro L. Jackson. Longshot caught on the far side here. We'll see if they make it out alive, and they don't. Low blow from the Stukov. So it's a 3-kill game already after the first minute. Absolutely bloodthirsty as these teams get into Game 2. I'm loving how Samuro L. Jackson are applying pressure and getting onto this bottom camp. Looks like they're instead focusing on the wave. Alan Hicks rotates in. Shadra once again sliding left. But they're able to escape thanks to a well-timed face melt. So a slight experience lead for FC Hong Kong here. We can see that is thanks to their minion XP lead. It's a pretty sizable one this early in the game, quite frankly. And Splendidaddy getting started here, a full 4-hero commitment. Samuro L. Jackson have not sniffed this one out, so that camp will secure the level 4 talents for FC Hong Kong. Samuro L. Jackson weren't idle, of course. They got a camp of their own. Alan Hicks tossing Shadra out. There's the slide onto the ETC, root follow-up, and Alan Hicks gets, does not escape, down to single-digit HP. I thought the trait armor might be enough. Geo rotating in here, and it looks like FC Hong Kong will defend their camp after losing their Garrosh. First objective here in bot lane, it is a Frozen Punisher, which is an important one. Able to really amplify the siege damage that a team can get, almost having a Sylvanas at home of sorts. And it looks like we've got FC Hong Kong setting up in top lane, perhaps looking to split push on this first objective and not interested in contesting it. Samuro L. Jackson already in place to get started, if they so choose. Instead, we've got Longshot rotating up. Shadra gets the boop in, but no damage follow-up there. A quick first wall going over to FC Hong Kong with that rotation, taking advantage of the Sylvanas Black Arrows trait. So a great steal from Jay Trinja, getting those first 8 skeletal defenders. But with Longshot still in top lane, Samuro L. Jackson aren't represented here as 5 on the objective just yet. Neither team will have their level 7 talents. Splendid Daddy takes so much damage from Thrall while the fight goes on the right side. A great silence from J Tizzle, and Longshot's falling low here. They're looking for the kill. They get a heal through their trait, but they will fall. So 1 for 1, War Chief for War Chief. Sonya is the next to fall. 32 to 15 on the skeletal defenders. Calyrex on Kael'thas has a lot of tools available to steal them away with the Q, which is called the Flame Blast? I don't remember. Flame Strike? Flame Strike. I'm confident. Alright, level 7 talents unlocked during that objective. We've got Echo Petal from ETC, Death Dealer, Desperate Prayer, Ancestral Wrath. And on the other side, anything of note, a huge bomb spread with that pull from Astroski. Nematode taking so much damage here, ends up falling to the damage over time from Splendid Daddy on Sylvanas, already up to 23 stacks on their Unfurling Shadows quest. Of course, Samuro L. Jackson have done a lot of damage to John Cena. Some great stun follow-up there, and a massive wave behind them means that this fort will go down. Up in top lane, Geo gets the solo kill on Longshot. So 4 kills to 5 now. Still favoring Samuro L. Jackson, but FC Hong Kong are definitely ahead on the macro front, and a half-level lead now towards their heroic talents. This is the opportunity that Samuro L. Jackson have for a pre-10 heroic fight. I would love to see them force the invasion once again on this Merc camp, but it doesn't look like they're terribly interested. Instead, rotating down to tend to the bottom lane, where the Khazar camp has already pushed past the dead fort. Next objective, in top lane, it will be a Mortar Punisher. And FCH, FHK, getting the rotation in, looking for an aggressive play now that their heroics online. Speaking of, we've got Leap, Warlord's Challenge, Massive Shove. Nice. Pyroblast. Nice. And Wailing Arrow, of course. Garrosh forced to use the Indomitable. Did Splendid Daddy E over the wall there? That was an interesting one. Heroics on both sides, and it is 5v4. Shadra's Mosh Pit interrupted, so it goes on short cooldown there. But it doesn't look like our teams are able to get any further aggression onto one another. Longshot and friends are going to have to get up here to top lane to deal with this camp, which is giving FC Hong Kong free reign on this mid-fort wall, finishing that off after their stolen Khazar camp already got things started. Longshot holding the bush here will keep FC Hong Kong from getting the rotation onto their friends. I'd love to see SLJ defend this camp, giving Hong Kong the free clear here definitely negates that macro advantage that they had built for themselves in the top lane. Shadra getting the stun onto Alan Hicks. And we have neutralized here on the experience front. More minion experience going over to Samuro L. Jackson, as well as more hero XP. But the Merc and passive XP definitely favoring FC Hong Kong as we get into this second objective, announced now in the top lane. Geo is a lot of the Shrine clear, and they're going to go down. An excellent 5-hero gank from SLJ. Looks like Hong Kong don't want the smoke, to use the terms that the kids are using. I'm pretty sure that's what the kids say. So they're going to back off and try and get some split push advantage with Splendid Daddy's Black Arrows taking advantage of the Sylvanas pick. So they're going to get started here on this mid-fort. Black Arrows will put a lot of pressure on the fort, and the wave behind them is still very healthy. So a fort will still be secured in spite of giving this top objective. Samuro Jackson, recognizing that they can't get to mid lane to stall the push, instead opt to trade a little damage. Nematode still really far ahead of the team there. Shadra gets the Mosh onto 3 just to peel for the team. Alan Hicks taking a lot of damage there. No real damage follow-up available for that Mosh, so a true zoning Mosh, as it were. Level 13s on both sides. It hungers for... Oh, it's Virulent Reaction. Not what I'm accustomed to seeing with low blow, but a big power spike for Jay Tizzle. We'll see how... Oh my god, what a perfect Haunting Wave from Splendid Daddy. Shadra gets the stun onto Calyrex and draws Fort aggro here. John Cena still very healthy and likely to jump again soon. Alan Hicks has to take the stun for the team. Shadra falls very low with the fort aggro. A great root from Jay Tizzle will finish off the ETC. In the meantime, Geo has been taking care and taking over the rest of the map. Warchief goes down once again. Splendid Daddy falling low. The root from Astro Ski does not connect. There's a Pyroblast out onto Nematode, who is full HP, does not pop their level 13 Gloom. Able to spend stacks of Hatred for an increased spell shield with that talent. Checking in on mid lane, the double Khazra Camp and Catapult already getting through one of the keep wall towers before Shadra is able to boot them back and take care of business. Geo's split soaking has really put FC Hong Kong ahead on the experience front. Ahead on mercenaries, minions, and passive XP at this point in the game. So they're about a level ahead towards their level 16 talents. With 4 represented down in bot lane, Samuro Jackson have given FC Hong Kong the green light to take out the final outer structure. And so their distance to safety has increased a fair bit. Shadra scouting the bush there. Longshot doing the same. Level 16's just around the corner for Hong Kong, and they are positioned aggressively to invade here. Shadra went the far way around, but didn't know that Alan Hicks did the same. A leap in will be the end of the elite Tauren Chieftain. Longshot tried to peel with the Earthquake, but in the end, the Tauren will not make it out alive. Horde on Horde violence? Is that right? WoW nerds? Help me out. So with the kill onto the main tank, FC Hong Kong steal away the Bruiser Camp. We've got the next objective set up for bot lane. It will be an Arcane Punisher there. And FC Hong Kong continue to apply pressure across all 3 lanes, getting this mid-wave pushed up with the Catapult, while Splendid Daddy takes care of the top keep wall with their Black Arrows. Longshot setting up down on the flank here. Geo is showing in bot lane. A Eternal Feast from Jay Trinja gets FC Hong Kong to back up a little bit, buying SLJ the space they need to clear the rest of that Bruiser Camp. Level 16 is now online for both teams. A pretty big power spike for Thrall, unlocking Alpha Wolf. They now have % damage on auto attacks spent on rooted targets. We've got Glyph of Faith from Astro Ski, so they've got 2 charges of their Leap of Faith trait. A great cleanse power spike. A momentary pause and restart. Not entirely sure what it was about. Other 16s, right. Nematode has unlocked Manticore, which is a pretty big power spike for Vala as well. Geo and Alan Hicks are going to have a hard time standing firm in the front line now that all of these auto attack percent damage talents have unlocked. We're up to 69 stacks onto Splendid Daddy's quest. I'm sure he thinks that is a pretty nice number to have achieved thus far. And a really fast grab onto the first few minions here, 13 to 1, and an early Earthquake does not land onto anyone. Jay Tizzle looking for some silences. Geo in on the backside, and there's another Eternal Feast. Mosh interrupted as the leap comes in. Shadra falls low, able to get the slide out, but in the end falls to the damage over time from Sylvanas. Another kill onto the Thrall, and SLJ are in full retreat once again. FC Hong Kong doing a great job to find these rotations, these flank angles. Both Alan Hicks and Geo doing a great job to come from multiple angles and threaten SLJ whenever they can. Arcane Punisher will push pretty hard in bot lane. They won't have a catapult directly behind them, but one is in the next lane, or the next wave. So it is a powerful push. We'll see who baits the jump here. Astroski using the first charge of Leap of Faith to get Jay Trinja out of harm's way. But with black arrows and all of these arcane orbity bits, spinners, pinwheels, whatever you like, that bottom keep will go down pretty quickly. Level 19 to 17 now. We'll see if SLJ want to stay on the chase. Longshot getting ahead of the team, but unable to pop the Earthquake before Alan Hicks threw them back out. Longshot continuing to chase, but they get stunned. A silence takes care of the Thrall. There's the Leap and Pyroblast onto ETC. Geo will fall to Nematode, but they don't have any more mana. I don't know if they've got a Vault available. It won't matter. Their move speed from their Hatred stacks will get them out. Of course, Storm talents are online for FC Hong Kong. We've got Ignore Pain. Death Wish for Alan Hicks, looking for resets on their heroic. Also increasing the duration of the taunt. Very cool. Flamethrower from Calyrex, the most common selection for ETC on that talent tier. What is the Mastiff Shove 20 called? Push comes to shove, and it's a slow, I believe. Yes, 50% slow after you've been shoved. SLJ still about a level away from their Storm talents. I would love to see someone warding this top bush. Of course, SLJ do have top lane in their favor. It seems as though FC Hong Kong are going to back up and get their minions moving in the right direction once again, which is a good call given that the next objective is spawning here in top lane. It's going to be another Frozen Punisher. So if SLJ are able to pick this one up, it is a big game changer. They'll have their very own fort disabling opportunity with the objectives Frozen Orbs. SLJ showing in bot lane gives Hong Kong the opportunity to get onto the mid keep and finish it off. Longshot gets the slow onto Alan Hicks, but they're able to throw the Thrall away. That would have been a great rotation if SLJ were able to keep up with Longshot. But now they're still here, down Storm talents. Longshot gets the root onto 2. SLJ just a sliver away from the next talent tier and an even talent tier fight opportunity. And there you have it, Storm talents on both sides. FC Hong Kong, of course, can set up for this objective by doing exactly what they are. We've got Geo taking care of this camp in bot. while Calyrex and Friends takes care of this camp in mid. Those camps, coupled with the catapult pressure, given that all of the keeps are down in those lanes, means that Samuro L. Jackson are going to have to do a lot of homework before they get to this objective, which is bad news. FC Hong Kong have great shrine clear between Calyrex and Splendid Daddy, so the late rotation from Samuro Jackson will likely cost them this objective. The double pull from Anduin could very well save any of the members of SLJ who are unfortunate to eat the jump from the Punisher, but it's going to be tough to survive this push. I love what they're doing, though. They're setting up in this bush. They're going for a gank. This is probably their best opportunity here, so we'll see how it comes into fruition. Letting SLJ get a little overconfident before they chase onto it. Shadra looking for J Tizzle here, gets shoved out. Longshot gets the Earthquake onto 2. A quick taunt onto Varian, or onto the ETC will kill them. Astroski looks like they're next to fall. Calyrex goes down, but John Cena is unfettered. Splendid Daddy able to blink out. Nematode still full HP here. Alan Hicks falling low. J Tizzle as well. So both damage dealers for Samuro L. Jackson still alive. There's the stun into stuns. Nematode does have the dash to get away from Alan Hicks. But that's the third keep of the game going down. Catapults just around the bend as well. FC Hong Kong are in a good position to finish off this Game 2 and continue their only dominations in Season 17 streak. Splendid Daddy draws core aggro, but J Trinja gets tossed out. John Cena and Catapults are connected with core. J Tizzle falls, and that'll do it, or J Trinja falls, and that'll do it for Game 2 in the series. GG and well played once again to FC Hong Kong. So showing that they are comfortable on battlegrounds that they choose as well, FC Hong Kong able to take it in a 2-0 there. Very decisive win on both battlegrounds, despite hot starts from Samuro L. Jackson. Checking in on our post-game stats, we can hop on over there. Splendid Daddy and Longshot, interestingly enough, vying for top damage in the lobby. 45 and 46k respectively, almost 47 for Longshot there on the Thrall. And very neck and neck as far as takedowns are concerned, 14 to 11. Longshot having a tough go of it on the Thrall, as well as Shadra on the ETC. Of course, Garrosh, Stukov, Kael'thas, this is a comp that is built to take advantage of those frontliners, so not surprising to see that many deaths on the side of Samuro L. Jackson. Our builds, nothing too surprising. Farflight Quiver from Nematode, but it wasn't enough in the end. FC Hong Kong were able to take it in a pretty decisive 2-0. So let's pop over to our little post-series match summary, and I'll see if I can't wrangle one of the fine folks from FC Hong Kong. All right. It looks like I will have the opportunity. Let me find us here. Excellent, excellent. GG, well played.
Hey there, Sam. Thank you.
How you feeling after your domination?
First game felt great. The second game was a little rough, but you know, we pulled it together. I felt like our draft in the first game really came together, and they drafted much better for what we had in game 2, and that was a much more evenly matched fight. But we're definitely feeling great about a domination. That's never a bad thing, right?
Oh, absolutely. And this is by securing the domination here, y'all have continued your only dominations this season streak.
Yes, yes, yes. We either get dominated or we dominate. That's the free Hong Kong way.
Love it, love it. Would you attribute that to anybody deciding after a game 1 loss, you know what? It's going to be late soon. I want to go to bed. Or
No, no, no. It's nothing like that. We're trying every bit as hard as we can every single game.
Of course, of course.
It's just the way it works out.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome. So game 1, I know that Splendid Daddy was dealing with a little bit of connection issues. How were y'all able to keep your heads in the game? Did that affect your morale at all during that game after losing the first Gambit stack?
It was a little crazy, but it didn't really affect our morale. When he came back, it was constantly dragging his character up to the top of the map. Like, it was constantly clicking to move to the top of the map. And then he couldn't see various things in the interface, like what the camp timings were, or how many seconds we had on the fortification camp, that sort of stuff. So we had to constantly communicate that to him. But the team just stayed together, and we didn't let it phase us.
Awesome. You'd love to hear it. I thought that Samuro L. Jackson were likely to get the better of y'all on that battleground, just with how it started with the early camp grabs, some excellent rotations. But in the end, I think after losing Splendid Daddy to the DC, y'all went completely nuts. And no one else died. So a very one-sided game from a kill perspective.
Yeah, I think we just had the better draft there.
Gotcha.
Their draft was based around they would have Muradin jump in with a stun, a slow, the C smash, and then want to get the damage in from Tassadar. And I think they had Zul'jin.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the constant blinds for Zul'jin. Tizzle was always there with the heals when necessary. And, I felt like our draft just worked into what they had.
Definitely.
And they weren't really able to execute on that single pick.
Yeah. I have to agree with y'all. For game 2, your battleground selection definitely looked like a comfort pick for y'all. Running the early rotations from a macro standpoint, I think you went down in kills early on this game too as well, but were ahead on experience nonetheless.
Yeah, we did, and it was a rough game on me. We picked Garrosh really early, and they responded with ETC, which was a very astute move on their part. He's one of the best tanks against Garrosh. It's really difficult to play against him, and I was not having the best game of my life anyhow, so that was a little rough. But once we got rolling, and Geo in particular was double soaking very well and
yes.
keeping up constant pressure in all the lanes, I really got to give Geo the MVP on that one because of his constant soak, his constant pressure. Even before the game, we decided, let's consider on, say, the first objective, not fighting for it, and let's just go get a fort. And so, we went up top for the first objective. That was Geo's call. Let's go get a fort. They pulled off. By the time they got there, we got in the wall, and then, we were able to go back down and get the objective anyhow. And then the late game macro play was just superior. And it was that macro that really put us through, keeping the constant pressure so that they had to respond everywhere at all times.
Absolutely, yeah. By that final Punisher, y'all had set yourselves up with only one keep left for Samuro L. Jackson and both of those siege camps pushing in, so it was kind of a lose-lose for them. So really well played to y'all.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have any other questions, but before I let you get back to celebrating with your team, are there any other additional shout-outs you want to give?
Well, shout-outs to everyone on my team, from Cal to Splenda to Tizzle to Geo. And shouts out to Samuro L. Jackson. They played hard. They gave it their all. It just didn't work out today. And, best of luck to them in their next match. And thank you to you for casting for us. That's a real class act.
Happy to do it. Thank you for playing fun games and giving us opportunities to cast. We love it.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful day.
Take care, Alan Hicks.
Bye-bye.
So there you have it. the superior macro play is what Alan Hicks credits their win in Game 2 to, and I have to agree with him there. Of course, this win, I believe, puts them ahead, so this would take Free Hong Kong from 5th place up to 4th place. Let's check on the standings again one more time, just to double check. Yes, so they would be going from 5th to 4th here, or 3rd, in fact, because they'd be ahead points-wise of Heavy Group Therapy. Not sure when Heavy Group Therapy play next, but there you have it. A really strong showing from Free Hong Kong. It looks like Division D East is very well balanced as we come up to the last couple weeks of play in anticipation of the playoffs. Before I sign off, I want to give some shout-outs of my own. First, to everyone who tuned in and cheered on our teams. The NGS community is alive and well, and it's thanks to folks like you who come out and support everyone who's playing, so thank you all for joining us. I also want to give a shout out to the volunteers at NGS for making such a great league available to all of us. And finally, to all of the artists, programmers, and musicians whose work I feature here on the stream. It wouldn't be possible or look anywhere near as good without all of their contributions, and I've got links to all of their work below the video, as well as in a credit roll coming up here after I sign off. So please go check them out, support them where you can. They are making a big difference for content creators out here. Until next time, good luck, have fun, peace and love.